Hello friends, welcome back to the Python programming session. In the earlier two sessions, we saw the grid method and we covered the row parameter, column parameter, row span and column span parameters in the grid method in the geometry manager. And today let's see about ipadx, ipady, padx, pady and sticky. So ipadx and ipady are internal padding parameters. Padx and pady are external padding parameters, and we'll see one more parameter called sticky. So ipadx, ipady are internal padding, padx and pady are external padding. So suppose we have a cell in our main window which is greater than the widget. So suppose our widget is a button widget which is covering this particular area, and our cell is covering this particular area. So now if we want to position the button widget in northwest, then we can specify sticky equal to northwest, so the button will be placed in this particular position. So when I give the some of the code examples, you'll be able to understand it better. If I say sticky equal to north, then my button will be placed in this particular position: northeast, east, southeast, south, southwest, west. So these are the different directions in which we can place our widget. And now for the padding parameters, internal padding, the padding will be added within the button, so the button gets extended. If I give ipady, it will extend height wise, and if I give ipadx, it will extend lengthwise. So within the button the padding happens. Now if I give padx pady equal to 50, outside the button the padding happens. So this is x, that is horizontally, and pady vertically the padding happens. And third, this is a general button. This is a button in general. So now let's look into one of the code examples to see how padding occurs in the grid method in Geometry Manager. So let me take my button 1 equal to button, place it in the main window, text equal to button 1, and now with the help of the grid method, let me place my button. So now when I run this particular code, I get my button 1 placed in this particular position. Now let's add another button. Now let's add another button called button 2, and let me say it as ipadx. Text is equal to ipadx. So ipadx is the text appearing on the button. Within the grid method, let me say ipadx equal to 80. So I am specifying my padding parameter as 80. Now let me run the code. So ipadx is 80. So the button has expanded horizontally. Because I given ipadx is equal to 80, this length has got expanded to 80, 80. And now my button 1, which was originally in this particular position has shifted because this particular cell width has increased, so it is placed in the middle. Now let me take another button, call it as button 3, and let me say ipady. that is vertically. iPady equal to 80. Now let me run the code. So button 3 dot grid iPady equal to 80. So now let me run the code. So iPady I get it as 80. So it is in the vertical direction. ipadx was in the horizontal direction. iPady is in the vertical direction. So the button has been elongated horizontally for ipadx and vertically for iPady. So ipadx and iPady are the internal padding parameters. Now let's look into padx and pady. So let me consider button 4. This is button 5. And let me say it as padx. Here also the parameter is padx equal to 80. And button 5, let me say it as pady. And here also let me make the parameter equal to pady. Now let me run the code. So padx is this particular button, and externally horizontally 80 value has been allotted to padx. So externally 80 pixels has been allotted, and for pady it is again 80. So this particular vertically it has padded 80 pixels. So this padx has been padded horizontally, pady has been padded vertically, and it is external. This was internal within the button ipadx and iPady, but padx and pady are external. So now let's look into this particular. So ipadx iPady was internal to the button, padx and pady is external to the button. So this is the button. Externally it is padded vertically and horizontally. So now let me close this window, and now let me say button 6, button, place it in the main window, comma text equal to general, button 6 dot grid. So now when I run the code, see pady was vertical padding externally. So this is also, it's giving so much space, and then it is printing, placing the button general on the screen. So friends, hope so it is clear for you. Button 1 ipadx, that is internal padding horizontally, iPady internal padding vertically, padx external padding horizontally, pady ex external padding vertically, and then I'm having a general button. So this is how with the help of padding we can give padding externally or internally within the button or outside the button or any widget as such. So after covering this, now let's move on to the sticky parameter. So let's move on to the sticky parameter. For this, let me consider 3 frames. So let me write the code. So from Tkinter import star win equal to tk, and let me create 3 frames. Frame 1 equal to frame, place it in the main window, width equal to 100, comma, height equal to 100, and let me give a background color equal to red. Frame 1 row equal to 0, comma, column equal to 1. So I'm placing it in row 0, column 1. Now let's consider another frame, which is frame 2. Even this is having width equal to 100, height equal to 100, and background color is pink. It is in row 1, column 0. Now let me consider another frame. Let me give a smaller dimension for this. Let me say width equal to 50, height equal to 50, background color is equal to orange, and let me say frame 1. It is in row 1, column 1. After this, let me call my main event loop win.main loop and run the code. Frame object is not callable. Okay. Frame 1 dot it should be. Grid row 0, column 0. Frame 1 dot grid. Again frame 1 dot grid. Let me run the code. This should be frame 2. This should be frame 3. So now let me run the code. So I get my grid in this particular way. One second. So frame 1, which is red in color, width is 100, height is 100, row 0, column 1. Frame 2, which is pink in color, row 1, column 0. So this is row 0, this is row 1, column 0. So this is in column 0, it is pink in color. And now my orange frame is height is 50, width is 50, and it is in row 1. This is row 0, this is row 1. This is column 0, this is column 1. So it is row 1, column 1. So now friends, what we can understand is this is our cell. This is larger than our widget. Our widget is smaller than the cell. So now we can position it in how many positions? We can position it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In 8 directions we can position our widget. So now let's look into it. So now for the third frame, if I give sticky equal to north, then it will be positioned in the north position. So now it's in the middle. Now if I give sticky equal to n, the orange frame will be positioned to the north. That is this particular position. That is the north position. Now let me close this window and run it once again. So my widget has been positioned to the north. Initially it was in the middle. Since I have given sticky equal to north, it is positioned to the north. Now if I want to position it to the south, I can give it as S. Run the code. So it is positioned to the south. Now northwest is this particular position. So now if I give NW, it will be positioned to the northwest. So this is the position. Northeast is this particular position. So now if I give NE and run the code, it will be positioned to the northeast. So this is how sticky comes in handy when the widget is smaller than the size of the cell. So we can place it in 8 different directions, either northwest, north, northeast, east, southeast, south, southwest or west. So hope so friends it is clear for you. If you have any doubts, please do reach to me out in the comment section. If you like my video, click on the like button and please do subscribe to get notifications of my new videos. Till then, see you. Bye bye.